Tuberculosis has left a man dead in an alley.
Today is the last day for voter registration.
And why should you plan to make your trip ahead of time if you're headed to Fry Street?
From the Mayborn School of Journalism at the University of North Texas, this is NT Daily News.
A man's death is raising question in Denton County. Thanks for joining us. I'm Grace Reyes.
And I'm Kavon Price. An autopsy report reveals what happened to a local man who died in an alley last week. Savannah Humoller is in the studio with more information.
This year has been confirmed in Denton County. The diagnosis is rare but not unheard of. Last week, 23-year-old Knock Lee was found dead in an alley behind his house off of Camino Real Trail and Delray Drive. Local health officials weren't sure how he died. He was seen with blood coming from his mouth and stumbling around his neighborhood. Monday, the Tarrant County Medical Examiner found Lee died of tuberculosis.
I don't know a lot because the Tarrant County Medical Examiners has handled most of the post-death investigation. We did work with them a lot this past week and have received information from them that would signify that this case was a TB case. Tuberculosis can be latent in people for a really long time, and then if you have an immune attack or something like that, you get sick, it can kind of become active. In general, normal infection control measures like washing your hands, sneezing into your elbow or coughing into your elbow or into your sleeve, just making sure that we're not actively engaging in anything that could spread germs.
Last year, the city of Denton had 22 cases of TB. Now, for anyone who is experiencing fatigue, coughing, and loss of weight, you can visit the Denton County Health Department to get tested for TB. The clinic is open Monday through Friday, and the cost is $10. I'm Savannah Humoller for NT Daily News.
Today is the last day to register to vote for the upcoming midterm elections. In Denton County, the registration numbers have piled up. Denton County election officials say they've seen a dramatic increase in voter registration. Over the past month, close to 10,000 people have registered to vote in Denton County. That's almost 30,000 more people than last year. Election officials say they've added 10 temporary workers to help with last-minute questions and concerns. Citizens like Lucky Wilson believe people should take advantage of having that right to vote.
It is very important for everybody to vote, because it is a civic duty. You're not doing the country a favor or the community a favor if you stop voting. It doesn't matter if your person wins or doesn't win, you have to vote your conscience, vote what you believe for. And that's what makes the community really thrive.
Early voting begins October 22nd and goes until November 2nd. You can find out how to register to vote at vote.denton.com. Meanwhile, the Denton County NAACP and LULAC chapters are partnership at the Saturday Forum meeting and will greet with local candidates. Republicans, Democrat, and Libertarian candidates running for city and county offices are scheduled to attend. The event also includes a Q&A forum with voters. It will be held at the Denton Public Safety Training Center room from 9:30 to noon.
Engineers have found small leaks in Denton's Lake Forest Dam. The trail that runs along the dam has been closed indefinitely. Caution tape and fencing blocks residents from walking across the dam area of the trail.
With the leaks, the amount of rain we've gotten in the past month or so, and the condition that the top of the dam has started to get back in, that we decided to close the trail section that's just over the dam.
Huffman said officials are reviewing plans now for reconstruction. According to the Texas Commission of Environmental Quality, the dam has been classified as a low hazard. There's no sign of a significant risk to lives and the property downstream. Even though the Lake Forest Trail is closed, the park is open. The Denton Community Food Center is one of the oldest volunteer organizations in Denton. Sade Brown is live at the center with information about its new building.
In Denton, 1 in 5 families don't have enough food, and the demographic of people needing help has changed. 10 years ago, the Food Center helped mainly the homeless and unemployed. Now less than 1% of the people served are homeless. Most are underemployed or the working poor.
It'll be the first building that was built and designed for our purpose versus our making use of some old facility to get by with.
In its 44-year history, the center has been located in 7 different places across Denton. This past Thursday, they broke ground at their new location at Serve Denton on Loop 288. Food Center volunteers are excited about their new location. They say it'll solve many of the challenges they've had with space. The waiting area is small, and sometimes they have to turn away volunteers.
We're in a very small building here, and this is on loan to us from the county. It's very difficult. We just have a 3-foot door.
Most of the food they receive comes from the Tarrant County Food Bank on pallets. The pallets have to be broken down outside because they can't get them through the door.
With the new building, we'll be able to back the truck into the loading bay and unload the truck directly with a forklift or a big pallet jack, and then move the food on pallets onto storage shelves in a very organized manner. It's going to save us a lot of time and make our efforts a lot more efficient.
The new location at the Serve Denton campus is scheduled to open next summer. Reporting live from inside the Denton Community Food Center, Sharday Brown, NT Daily News.
Coming up, we'll tell you the latest on Nikki Haley's resignation.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education? What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
See on page 4 that the projections need to be tornado next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
President Trump has another cabinet position to fill. United Nations Ambassador Nikki Haley resigned today. During a meeting at the White House, President Trump announced will step aside by the end of the year. Trump says she told him several months ago she wanted to take time off. Haley stated government officials needed to know when to leave a position. Trump plans to name a replacement in the next 2 or 3 years. Haley became UN ambassador in January 2017. Prior to her appointment by Trump, she served as South Carolina's governor. The news comes after a Washington's watchdog organization called for an investigation Monday into Haley's use of private planes. Brett Kavanaugh has officially been sworn into office as Supreme Court Justice. His approved ratings are already negative. A new CNN poll finds that 51% of people asked opposed Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation to the Supreme Court. That's up from 39% who opposed him in earlier September, before accusations of sexual misconduct emerged. Meanwhile, those who support Kavanaugh has inched up to 41% from 38% back in September. Most of this shift happened almost among party lines, with more Democrats opposing him and more Republicans backing him now. Beyond just overall impressions, the polls also found that the majority of Americans doubt Kavanaugh's truthfulness and his ability to separate political influence when considering cases.
Hurricane Michael has Florida locals on edge. Weather officials aren't sure what category the hurricane will be when it makes landfall. There are about 20 million people under hurricane warnings as of right now. Chelsea Tatiano tells us more.
The Florida Panhandle braces for one of the strongest hurricanes to threaten the coastline in decades. The community remembers the effects of a Category 3 hurricane that hit the area in October of 1995.
I lost my home from Hurricane Opal, and this is supposed to be really bad like that, so I'm not looking forward to it.
I normally laugh these things off, but this one I'm taking a little bit more serious because it does look like it's going to do a direct hit the Panama City area.
Residents aren't taking chances and have flooded stores to get what they need.
We had people at our doors at 5:30 this morning wanting to come in. We opened at 6. By 6:15, we sold out of every generator we had.
We opened at 8 a.m. this morning, and by 11:30, we have pretty much been out of the gallons and the 24 12-packs of water.
Everybody was full up at all the pumps. We were able to get gas, but we've been driving around, doing some shopping, preparing, and noticing the other gas stations, and they are full as well.
Many stores have brought more staff in to help with the crowds and plan to get trucks of supplies in tonight to have the shelves restocked.
That was Chelsea Tatiano reporting. In the next 24 hours, Hurricane Michael is expected to hit the Florida Panhandle as a Category 3.
Investigators are trying to figure out what caused the deadliest transportation crash in the United States in nearly a decade. 20 people were killed in upstate New York, including 2 pedestrians en route to a birthday party. CNN's Mary Maloney has the latest story.
We investigate fatal crashes all the time, year round, but this one is, the magnitude of this one is different for us.
Chilling new details are emerging about the limousine, a modified Ford Expedition. According to New York's governor, it should have never been on the road after failing inspection just last month. The governor says the driver didn't have the proper license to be behind the wheel.
In New York State, a limo with 15 or more seats available, excluding the driver, falls under the definition of a bus and requires a passenger endorsement.
The focus for investigators now, the airbag control module, which acts like a black box for a car and can reveal details about the crash that remain a mystery right now.
We don't yet know the cause of the accident, if it was a vehicle malfunction, if it was a driver malfunction, driver error. That's part of the ongoing investigation.
The tight-knit community of Schoharie in upstate New York has been rocked by the deadly crash. Friends and family members of the victims say they're struggling.
It really makes you question your faith at a time like that. How can God take away so many people at the same time and leave kids without parents?
I'm Mary Maloney reporting.
Attorneys for the limousine company, Prestige Limousine, say they have pulled their fleet of vehicles from the road and are performing their own internal investigation.
When we come back, we'll tell you about a special award UNT has received.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
They gave me Vicodin after my knee surgery. They kept prescribing it, so I kept taking it. I didn't know it would be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
The University of North Texas was chosen as one of the top universities for promoting diversity. The UNT Division of Institutional Equity and Diversity received the Higher Education Excellence Diversity Award. The school will be featured in the November issue of the Insight into Diversity magazine, along with 99 other U.S. and Canada universities. UNT has students from over 110 different countries. Campus employees are wearing badges with their country of origin to highlight the importance of diversity in the community. UNT women's soccer team are starting out with a great season. Their record is 2-0. The team hopes to be #1 in their division. In their last matchup, the team beat University of Alabama Birmingham. This weekend, the team will play at Western Kentucky.
Parking on campus is hard for students, but now there are 5 new solutions to parking on campus. Here's what I found. The transportation specialist is working with their team to create new ways students can park at UNT.
Valet parking is something that we're getting ready actually to implement on campus. It'll be a new program that we'll be doing as a pilot.
Moxley hopes to have valet parking within the year. It will be at the Union. In the meantime, she's teaching new students about parking.
We sat down with freshmen and basically went over the rules and said, here's where you can park, here's where you can't park, here's what you need to know about parking so that you don't get a citation.
Parking officials are also promoting awareness to students about tickets. A new policy gives students a warning sticker before their car gets towed. Darian Johnson runs for UNT's cross-country team. She practices on Fouts Field from early in the mornings.
And it's still dark at 6:15, so I do feel more comfortable driving to Fouts rather than walking. And upon arrival one morning from one of the courses that we had went to, I found that I had a ticket on my car. And
Johnson has a reserved resident sticker. This means she can only park in certain parking lots. Fouts is not one of them, and she says it's not fair.
It's a facility that we use to practice from, and I got a ticket.
In an emailed statement, Director of Athletics Eric Capper says they're working through several issues with UNT for its student athletes. UNT President Neil Smoltrix wants students like Johnson to take advantage of the alternatives on campus.
We've got zip cars, we've got VO rides for bicycles for kids to get around, and we also, well, of course, the regular transportation system that we have set up.
Smoltrix says that after the new track soccer complex is built, Fouts Field will be torn down to create 1,100 more parking spots. It's not clear when construction on those new parking spots at Fouts Fields will begin. Parts of Welch Streets have been under construction for months. Now the Denton Record Chronicle reports a section of Welch near UNT will be closed for 3 weeks. Construction crews found infrastructure issues under Welch, Chestnut, and Sycamore Streets. The University of North Texas students' crosswalk intersection with Chestnut Street closed down temporarily Monday afternoon. There is a detour via Bernard Street. Welch Street from Mulberry to Chestnut has been under construction for sidewalk repairs and a new DA ramp according to the city's construction project report.
The University of North Texas is getting its first food truck. The trial run of Crosini is scheduled to be this Friday, but it may be postponed. UNT dining officials say the food truck's staff and final location are up in the air. Crosini's truck is scheduled to set up near the auditorium since there aren't any food options for students there. Cookies and drinks. They're still looking to add more options.
2 things panini sandwiches and croissants and making them 10 times better by putting them together. So I think it's going to be a delicious combination, and I can't wait for our students to try it.
During the trial run, customers won't be charged. UNT Dining also has other projects in the works. A standalone Starbucks will sit between Hurley Administration Building and the Willis Library. A walk-up Chick-fil-A will be near Sage. And the College of Arts and Design building will be home to a new bagel shop. After the break, we'll tell you how a local business is helping the community relieve their stress.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
A new local business opened up last month to help you manage your stress. I got the chance to see how a UNT student takes out his frustration about school.
Having one of those days, the break room opened up in early September and offers a way for people to relieve stress without getting in trouble. College and traffic cause a lot of stress. Owners thought that bringing the break room here could help the community cope.
We wanted to focus a little less on the anger portion of it. By calling it a break room, it's more of a break from stress, a break from anger, and that's how we kind of wanted to spin it.
For $20, you choose a tool and get a 10-minute session to smash objects around this room. University of North Texas student Aaron Platt worked out his frustrations on a TV, a desk, and even a car. Afterwards, Platt says it was better than getting a massage.
Between like tests and midterms and everything going on, this was like, not only was it so much fun, but like I feel so much more like relaxed afterwards. Like all the stress is gone, and like I love breaking stuff.
Paul Jurek is a licensed professional counselor in Denton. He says the break room is second to therapy and is just the first step into managing your stress.
I think they're helpful on a short-term basis. I think they're good as kind of a first aid measure, but I think they're the first step because we can't do that all the time. We can't do that as our only coping skill. We have to go kind of beyond that. But for that physical release of that tension and that anger, I think on a short-term basis, I think that may be good.
Jurek says another way to relieve stress is through exercise.
The business also offers a throwing room. For more information, visit www.thebreakroomdenton.com.
Good news for an Oscar-winning actor in a classical musical. Bad news for fans of a certain rapper. Here's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
True.
A big honor for a legendary actor. Denzel Washington is the next recipient of the American Film Institute's Life Achievement Award. The AFI plans to honor the Oscar winner at a gala next June in Los Angeles. Sorry, Iggy Azalea fans, most of the rapper's North American tour is canceled. Promoter Live Nation announced the news about the Bad Girls Tour, which was set to kick off October 27th in Florida. Azalea tweeted she was disappointed, adding, "The choice was out of my hands and not my call to make." No word why the tour was canceled.
I spent many late nights working on my music.
Ansel Elgort is going from driving to singing and dancing. The Baby Driver star has been cast as Tony, leader of the Jets, in Steven Spielberg's big screen take on West Side Story. He's stepping into some big shoes. The original 1957 Broadway musical won 2 Tony Awards, and the 1961 film adaptation won 10 Oscars, including Best Picture. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
That's our time for now. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you next time for NT Daily News.